Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Charlie. Pat's over here. Kirby's on camera, and today we're in western Montana in Bitterroot National Forest, and we're here to check out this guy, the McCart Fire Tower. Yo, check it out! Here's a fire tower that we stayed in. Pretty legit, right? This thing is awesome. But wait, back up a minute. We're in the middle of Bitterroot National Forest, and this is the only building for miles and miles. But it's a very important building, or I mean, at least it was at one time. Back in the day, about 100 years ago, the fate of the entire forest laid in the hands of the man or woman who was staying in this tiny little hut. Because this thing right here is a fire tower. Back in 1900, the people managing forests in the US had an enormous problem. There were forest fires all over the place, and they were never able to stop them before massive destruction occurred. So they started coming up with possible solutions.
Son of a gun! Patrick!
Yes, sir.
I'll pay you 60 cents to sit at the top of that really tall tree and look for fires all day.
60 cents?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
I'm on it.
Boom! So that's how the earliest fire lookouts started. People were hired to sit at super high points with unobstructed views in the middle of forests, doing nothing but looking for fires all day. These fire watchers proved to be pretty effective. They were able to spot smoke from fires and pinpoint a fire's location quicker than anyone had before, so the fires could be put out before any massive destruction occurred. But despite the fact that they were so effective, they weren't really used that much. That was until 1910, when chaos absolutely ripped through the northwest of the United States. It was called the Big Blow Up or the Big Burn, but most call it the Great Fire of 1910. This event was absolutely nuts. A small fire that broke out in Montana spread like crazy, super crazy. 3 million acres were burned across Idaho, Montana, and Washington. 3 million in 2 days. 87 people died. Several towns were burnt entirely to a crisp, like a torched marshmallow. Gone. After the Great Fire, the U.S. Forest Service gained a heap ton of support, and their priority now was fighting forest fires, and their method, fire towers. Around 1911, people started realizing that these fire watchers were doing a pretty good job, so they sweetened the deal a little and made them swanky cabins to watch from, like this one. The basic outline for these lookouts was summed up pretty well by a super old guy named Court DuBois in his page-turner, Systematic Fire Protection in the California Forests.
The lookout man's dwelling, office, and workroom should be centered in one house, on one floor, and in one room. The room cannot be less than 12 feet square and must be so constructed that at any moment of the day, with the turn of a head, he can see his whole field. He must be fixed so that when he is cooking, eating, reading, writing, dressing, washing his clothes, walking about, sitting down, working out, or shaving, he cannot help but be in the best position to see.
So these tiny little houses were actually pretty sweet. I mean, they had 360-degree unobstructed views of the forest, so you could see for miles. But remember, the people that were living here had to do nothing but look for forest fires all day. What brought the whole operation to the next level was this: the Osborne Firefinder. The Osborne Firefinder, created by another old guy to add to our old guy Hall of Fame, William Bushnell Osborne Jr., but we just call him good old Bush. So our buddy Bush is important because he developed and perfected this weird little instrument thing that helps fire spotters pinpoint the exact location of fires on a map. Here's how it works. You see a fire. You spin the finder so it's pointing towards the fire. You look through this tiny little hole. You line everything up. You get a compass reading from this little ring. Move this metal thing to get an angle. Put it all together to find out where the fire is. Book it over to the telephone. Tell the guys what's up.
Fire!
Some other guys fight the fire. You save the forest. And you save the whole gosh darn world. All thanks to our buddy Bush Osborne. Thank you, Bush. In their heyday, there were 8,000 fire lookout towers across the United States. Eventually, satellites were invented, and this whole thing became a lot easier to do. Today, there are 2,000 fire lookout towers across the US, and 400 are still in use. Which remind us of a simpler time when people got paid to just sit around all day and look at the forest. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. Click here to subscribe and here to check out our Patreon page. If you'd like to check out some more nature boom time, click over here. And click over here for some other videos we post on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.